Each Elder Scrolls protagonist is unique. In Morrowind, you're the reincarnated soul of an ancient Chima general. In Oblivion, you're the hero of Kvatch, famed for their ability to close Oblivion gates. And in Skyrim, you possess the power of the Thu'um. But there are many similarities between the protagonists. In almost every game, the player begins as a prisoner, and in every narrative, the protagonist arrives just in time to defeat some sort of impending doom. But it seems a stretch to say that they are all the same person. How can they possibly be? I mean, we know that Shezarrine is now an Akavir, that the hero of Kvatch became Shezarrine, but what if the protagonists all shared the same sort of spirit? In this video, I want to explore the idea that the Elder Scrolls protagonists are all avatars, or at least possessions, of Lorkhan. Lorkhan was the god principally responsible for creating Nirn, the world on which the Elder Scrolls takes place. Lorkhan tricked the other gods into investing their power into the planet, much to their dismay. So the 8 divines, led by Akatosh, butchered Lorkhan and sent his heart flying through the sky, where it eventually settled in Vardenfell, forming Red Mountain from the impact. Shezarrine is reportedly a being, normally a human, that is an aspect of Lorkhan. In other words, a being in which the disembodied creator manifests. There are no confirmed Shezarrines, but it's widely thought that Perennial Whitestrake, the knight who defeated the alien sorcerer Umaril, was semi-divine, and some suspect that he was imbued with Lorkhan's power. The term Shezarrine is derived from the name of Shezar, which is another moniker for Lorkhan. In various pantheons, Lorkhan is described as a wandering, disembodied spirit who possesses those he deems worthy. In the Redguard mythos, it's reported that Shezar, or Sep, as he is known to them, can only slink around in a dead skin. In Khajiit mythology, Lorkhaj, as they in turn know him, is reportedly cursed to walk Nirn for many phases. There are suspected other Shezarrines besides Perennial Whitestrake, in particular Tiber Septim, Zurin Arctus, and Wulfarth. Tiber Septim is an individual we all know, now Talos, the god of mankind, who was once the emperor, and under his enlightened rule the continent was united. Zurin Arctus is perhaps a figure new players are less familiar with. He was the first imperial battle mage of the Septim Empire, and the trusted advisor to Tiber Septim. Zurin's most significant achievement was in his research of the Numidium, the giant brass structure built by the Dwemer to help them ascend to divinity. Zurin discovered that the Numidium was engineered to be powered by the heart of Lorkhan. To mimic the heart, Zurin created the Mantella from his own heart and imbued it with life force in order to power the massive brass god. Zurin's tale doesn't end there, in fact, it's long and it's complicated. Suffice to say that Zurin turned against Tiber Septim when he found out that he intended to conquer Tamriel with the Numidium. He was resurrected as the Underking, but was defeated, and the Mantella was blasted into Aetherius. Wulfarth is another reported Shezarrine, but his tale is even more complicated because it's thought that he and Tiber Septim are the same person. Wulfarth preceded Tiber Septim and apparently merged with the young Tiber Septim's spirit before he set off on his journey to become emperor. So the history of the Shezarrines, or at least the ones purported to be Shezarrines, is complicated and ambiguous. But if we take them as true, there are clearly limits to the power Lorkhan has in those that he inhabits. For instance, it seems that he cannot possess someone forever, and it's unclear whether he actually possesses them at all, or whether he merely inspires them and imbues them with greater power. Nonetheless, it's possible that the protagonists of the main Elder Scrolls games are Shezarrines, or at least for some of them to be. It's reasonable to assume that they are imbued with Lorkhan's power for a few reasons. Firstly, it would explain the exceptionalism of the protagonists, especially the hero of Kvatch. Oblivion's player character is a nobody. They have no innate powers or abilities like the Thu'um to set them apart, and they are linked to no prophecy. Their being a Shezarrine would explain their power and prestige among the best Cyrodiil has to offer to fight Mehrunes Dagon. What's more, in the Knights of the Nine DLC, the player follows in Perennial Whitestrake's footsteps and defeats Umaril once more. The only potential hold to this theory is that the hero of Kvatch becomes Shezarrine. In the Shivering Isles, the champion of Cyrodiil mantles the Mad God's place so that Jiggalag may return permanently to his original form. But as I've already suggested, Lorkhan doesn't seem to possess people indefinitely, so perhaps after the Knights of the Nine, he left the champion's body to find another worthy host, allowing the hero of Kvatch to become Shezarrine. It also makes sense for the last Dragonborn to be imbued with Lorkhan's power. Like Wulfarth and Tiber Septim before him, the last Dragonborn possessed possesses the Thu'um and has a grand mission to change the course of the world. In the case of the Elder Scrolls V Skyrim, it's to save the world from Alduin's onslaught.
The Elder Scrolls told of their return. Their defeat was merely a delay.
Equally, there have been Dragonborns before, presumably who have not been Shezarrines, meaning it's far from clear whether the last Dragonborn truly is. I mean, there's Mirak, and clearly, as a villain, you would assume he's not a Shezarrine, so being Dragonborn doesn't necessarily mean that you are imbued with Lorkhan's power. It also seems unlikely that the Nerevarine is a Shezarrine, primarily because most of them, if they even exist, seem to be men. Lorkhan is often detested by elves. Mer blame Lorkhan for stealing their immortality, whereas men thank him for giving them life. Also, we see an aspect of Talos in Morrowind anyway, and if Talos and Lorkhan are intimately linked, then it's hard to see Lorkhan having enough power to manifest in two beings at once. This criticism extends to the hero of Kvatch and Dragonborn too. How can they be Shezarrine if Lorkhan is manifested in Talos? But then again, we're assuming that Lorkhan can't manifest in more than one individual at once. Maybe he can, we just don't know. Fundamentally, Shezarrines are not confirmed to exist. Rather, it seems that powerful individuals are deemed by posterity to be Shezarrines because of their achievements. But at the same time, much legend and hearsay in the Elder Scrolls has a kernel of truth to it. After all, this is a universe in which magic actually exists. So are the protagonists of each game linked by Lorkhan's spirit? Are they the same in that they are all Shezarrines? I think that everyone would like to believe so, but ultimately, we just don't know. If any characters were going to be imbued with Lorkhan's power, it would either be the hero of Kvatch or the Dragonborn. They seem both to adhere most to the Shezarrines reported to have preceded them. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please let me know in the comments below, do you believe that Lorkhan can manifest in mortal beings? Do you believe that the Shezarrines existed? Also, please leave any suggestions for future videos in the comments below. I genuinely look through them, so if you have any good ideas, there's a high chance that I'll take them on and make a video about it. Also, don't forget that if you're interested, I do have some merch for sale. You can either view it below the description or there's a link on my channel banner. Anyway, thanks for watching again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.